What's up, Nerfers? This is Alan from OC Nerf, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest blaster from the Nerf Phantom Core line, which is the Nerf Rival Chaos XVIII-500. This blaster is the first pistol blaster of the Nerf Rival line, and it happens to just be in the Phantom Core line, which is the newest line of the Rival series. There is the blue, and there's the red, and now there's the white Phantom Core blasters. We'll get into that in a minute. This blaster used to also, prior to its release in January as the Kronos blaster, was released at GameStop in a collector's edition dual pack as the Deadpool blasters. They came in two with a deco of red and Deadpool all over it with markings and sayings, and the two came in a pair. This is the official one released for the Rival line, and if you have checked out your Target stores recently or Amazon or Toys R Us, you'll probably find it there. It was released on shelves around the first to second week of January of 2018. I picked mine up at Target. I picked it up for about $19.99. I think Amazon is selling it for about $30 or a little bit more, and I believe that Toys R Us is somewhere around there or a little bit closer to Target as well. You'll have to check that for yourself. But this one I picked up at Target. Now, what is awesome about this blaster is that it features a first in the Rival line, which is an internal magazine. But when you pull this back, there is an internal magazine inside of the blaster that can hold up to 5 Rival rounds. Now, it also has your typical features of the Rival blaster, which is its safety, so that you can prevent the trigger from firing. It also has a new thing to most of the new springers for the Rival line, which is a de-priming, or at least a slide release mechanism, so that if you have a jam and you've already primed it and you can't open this up and get in there to clear out the jam with this being closed, you pull this back, open it, and the breech will open for you. You can clear out your jams. This blaster also has your typical hop-up system in the front of the blaster, in the front of the barrel, so that the Rival balls, as they exit, they will kind of have a spin to give it a little bit more drift as it goes further for a little bit better distance. Now, short length darts are probably going to still outrange it, but it does give it a little bit more of that distance. This features a couple of tactical rails at the top. It features rear and front sights. It has the orange tip, of course. The molding is fantastic on both sides of the blaster, but as per usual, the good side, the display side, is here, and the other side has no paint whatsoever on it. It does still say Rival, it does still say Nerf, it does still say XVIII-500. In fact, all those things are all the same on both sides of the blaster, plus a couple of trademarking and don't do things labeling here. But other than that, the molding is pretty symmetrical on both sides. This blaster is in the Rival line, which means that it is made for ages 14 and up, which gives us a nice, firm, and larger grip than most of your typical Nerf blasters. So this is a really comfortable grip. It's nice and chunky. The beaver tail here fits really nicely into the webbing of my thumb and index finger. This normally bothers me on most of the blasters because it's in the wrong spot, but it's grooved quite nicely for your finger so that it doesn't quite intrude as much. The trigger well has enough clearance, and the safety is really easy to use. Now, I say easy to use for a right-handed person. As you notice, there's no safety lever on the other side, so if you're a left-handed person, you're going to have to use your index finger on this one to be able to switch it on and off. So that's probably the easiest way to do it if you are a left-handed person. If you're a right-handed person, this is pretty much built for you, so it's nice and easy. This is the jam door, but it serves no other purpose than that. It actually doesn't even impede firing if it's open, so you could actually just pull it back, prime, load in a round, and fire with this open, and it would work out just fine. Like I mentioned, there are a couple of tactical rails at the top. These are Nerf style rails, so they will work with Nerf Rival style rails, so that they will work with Nerf Rival attachments. The other thing that this comes with are these two flags. Now this is unique to the Phantom Core line. The Phantom Core line is kind of this intermediary between the red and the blue team, and they can play on both teams or perhaps a team of their own. So if you're out on the field, you can go ahead and say, I'm of team red or I'm of team blue. Now, this has one sling point here. So the idea is you would take this and you would attach it to your blaster. So you could be of team red or you could be of team blue. Now it kind of gets in the way for me to have it on the blaster. So my preference, these are really actually nice flags. The hooks are made of plastic, but they're pretty solidly built plastic, I think. And the flags themselves are rather tough. So rather than hooking this onto the blaster, I'd probably hook it onto my belt loop or hook it onto my rigs or whatever it is I'm using. But just hooking it onto my person rather than having it be on my blaster. I'd much prefer that if the game that I'm playing does actually have red and blue as the color differentiations for a two-team battle. Now, given that it's a 5-round blaster, it comes with 5 of the Nerf rival rounds of the yellow variety. Hasbro is putting out different colors, I believe, of these, similar to the headshot ammo, and also split color variations, just like the headshot ammo. So we have that coming from Nerf as well, but these come with 5 of these yellow rounds. We're going to go ahead and take a look as well at the chronograph readings, and we're going to take a look at the firing of the blaster itself up close. Then we'll kind of take a look at how it bounces around when I shoot it around the house a little bit here. So as you can see, the difficulty that I'm going to be having with the chronograph readings is that the rival rounds themselves are just barely small enough to fit into my airsoft chronograph. That is going to make it really hard to get good readings for it, but I will do my best. And I have gotten better readings off camera. The best ones I've gotten were about 91 FPS. The claimed readings on the box are 90 FPS. So this is not too far off from where it is. Yet most of the time when I try to do an FPS reading for this blaster, I get somewhere in the neighborhood of the high 70s to low 80s, likely because it's skimming the rim of the barrel of the chronograph just a little bit somewhere as it's going through. You can see on some of the shots that I'm taking within the chronograph itself is bouncing and it's resulting in scores of around 40s to 50s to 60s. These are negligible results. They don't reflect the actual performance of the blaster. That's just the difficulty that I'm having with my chronograph. Now the blaster itself, as I mentioned, has really beautiful deco on it. And the blaster is really simple to use. You just pull back, as I mentioned, and you load in your rival rounds and you start opening it up and firing. Now, without the jam door on, you can actually see whether or not you have rounds still remaining. With that on, it's kind of difficult to tell. You just have to remember to count in 5s, which is not something I'm used to yet, or you're going to end up dry firing. Now, fortunately, there is a rather good air restrictor to this blaster, which dampens the sound that I can hear when I dry fire. You still don't want to dry fire, but it is there to let you know that it's somewhat going to be okay if you accidentally dry fire once in a while. My recommendation is to probably just go ahead and take out that jam door. That way it's easy top loading and also easy for you to tell if you're running low or running out of ammo. This can only hold 5. I know sometimes you can squeeze in that last one, but there's absolutely no more space for one more round in this. Now this blaster, as I mentioned, is a pistol-sized rival blaster. This is a unique thing when we're coming from worlds of Nemesis blasters, which are ginormously huge, along with the Chaos blasters. We're looking at the original Apollo blaster that was designed as the pistol class for the rival line, but really didn't serve that role very well. It didn't holster very well, and it was more or less converted in the community into a pump action rival blaster with its stock that was 3D printed and a 3D printed front pump kit that allowed you to connect it to the top priming bar, which was horridly uncomfortable to use and use it more or less like a rival Alpha Trooper. So this, if you take a look at a strong arm, is not that much different in size. In fact, if I put one in front of the other, they do eclipse each other. And that's because this is a really small blaster in that regard. Now, it's not a Jolt, it's not a Night Finder, it's not a Fire Strike. Who uses Night Finders, right? Fire Strike, but it's pretty small. Now, a lot of people have compared it to the Magnus blaster, and I get it. It's very much so in form factor, shape, and function, similar to a Magnus blaster, but the Magnus is a little bit thicker, or a little bit taller than that blaster, and this makes it slightly easier to holster than a Magnus blaster. And being able to get FPS readings in the mid to high 80s, the ones that I actually feel are solid readings, and sometimes maybe tapping into the 90s as the box claims, that's a pretty solid sidearm. Would I recommend this blaster? I would absolutely say yes, especially given the price point of $19.99 for this blaster. It's 5 rounds. Why would I recommend 5 rounds? It's just a pistol. It's a sidearm. It goes here, and if you need it, you can pull it out, pop, pop, pop really quickly, get yourself out of trouble, reload your primary, and you're ready to go. This is just another option in that category for your loadout because it is small enough to probably fit a lot of the typical holsters. Like I said, it's about the size of a strong arm. So this is overall a really good purchase, a really good buy for the price point. I wasn't okay with the price point of the Deadpool blasters. I think it was coming around $70, and when it was starting to run out, which was very quickly after it was released, a lot of the GameStops were pushing the prices up even higher than that to 80, and now I've been seeing them for 120 and 140. I think that's just obnoxious, and I wasn't all about that. I love the character of Deadpool. I'm a big Marvel fan, but I'm just not about that. However, I am about a good functioning blaster, and I think that's what this is. I love the grip, I love the feel. The weighting is really nice. The chunk here is really good in the hand. It just feels good to use, and I really like this line. The dimensions of the rival line, as to be expected, fit better for the older audience. Now let's go ahead and shoot this back there for a little bit so you can kind of see, hopefully from a first-person perspective, how all this kind of stuff works. So we're going to take these 5 and shoot them. And of course, there's your safety. And we're out. So as you can see there, from where I was shooting, where the camera was, to where that wall is about 25 feet. And there was practically no drop in those shots. It was just going straight for it, no problem. So I've already told you that I would definitely recommend this blaster. Let me know what you think. There's flags here. What color would you put on your Nerf Phantom Core blaster? Would you be on Team Red or would you be on Team Blue? Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. If you have any further questions or comments about this blaster or this review, let me know down below, and I will hopefully try to interact with everybody that comments, as I always try to do that. Thank you guys for watching. This is going to be an amazing 2018. 2017 was really crazy. I'll do a different update video on that. Hopefully not getting too personal, but just a lot of stuff going on. But I'm super excited about all the things that are coming up in 2018. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video if you think it was helpful, and I will catch you later. Nerf on, everybody.